If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns have made a move that, on paper, feels both bold and desperate, a decision that could be remembered as the turning point in their season or just another entry on the long, frustrating list of quarterback experiments the franchise has endured since its return to the NFL in 1999. Dillon Gabriel, the rookie out of Oklahoma, has been named the team's new starting quarterback, replacing veteran Joe Flacco, and the weight of the Browns' future now rests on his shoulders. For Cleveland fans, the change signals both hope and uncertainty, because Gabriel doesn't carry the resume of a proven veteran, but he does bring something the team has sorely lacked for years: youth, energy, and the possibility of a new beginning. Gabriel's introduction as QB1 came with a surprisingly candid and reflective tone, the type of honesty you don't always hear from young players who are stepping into the most demanding position in football. Instead of boasting or making big promises, Gabriel shared a story with reporters that perfectly captured how he views this moment. He recalled a text from a close friend who sent him a picture of a fire station. At first, it might sound random, but Gabriel explained the meaning behind it. Just like firefighters who sit ready, waiting for that emergency call, he sees his role as being prepared for the moment when his number is called, garage doors open, lights on, and no hesitation allowed. That imagery says a lot about his mindset: calm, professional, aware that when opportunity strikes, there's no time for nerves, only action. What stands out about Gabriel's demeanor is that he's not walking into this job under any illusions. He knows the situation isn't ideal. The Browns are battered on the offensive line, missing key pieces, and facing one of the most ferocious defensive units in the Minnesota Vikings as they head to London for his very first NFL start. It's the kind of assignment that might shake the confidence of a seasoned quarterback, let alone a rookie. But Gabriel didn't flinch when talking about the challenge. He smiled as he described the moment, saying it was something he had prepared for, something he had visualized over and over again. And while the excitement is real, the focus has to be even stronger. To him, it's not about waiting for everything to align perfectly, because, as he put it, if you wait for the perfect time, you'll wait your whole life. That line alone tells you everything you need to know about the way he's approaching this job. Eyes wide open, fully aware, and refusing to wait for ideal conditions that may never come. Cleveland's decision to move away from Joe Flacco wasn't shocking, but it was significant. At 40 years old, Flacco gave the Browns a steady hand, but not much else. His arm strength has diminished, his mobility was never a strength, and his presence in the pocket was predictable for defenses. Flacco brought leadership, no doubt, and the ability to manage a game. But in today's NFL, managing is rarely enough. Teams need playmakers. They need quarterbacks who can extend plays, attack defenses vertically, and create something out of nothing when protection collapses. Gabriel may not yet have shown he can do all those things at the professional level, but Cleveland believes he at least offers the possibility, and that possibility is something they could no longer ignore. Still, Gabriel's first test could hardly be more difficult. London games are unpredictable by nature. Teams deal with travel fatigue, a different environment, and an unusual atmosphere in the stands. Add to that the fact that the Vikings' defense has been one of the most disciplined and aggressive units in the league this season, and you get a recipe for growing pains. Minnesota thrives on pressure, disguising blitzes, and forcing quarterbacks into mistakes. For Gabriel, it's going to be a crash course in NFL speed and defensive complexity. Browns fans shouldn't expect fireworks in Week 5. What they should look for instead is composure. Even if Gabriel takes sacks, even if he throws an interception or two, the question is whether he can shake it off, whether he can keep his head in the game and keep fighting. That mental resilience will tell us far more about his long-term prospects than a single box score. The question now, of course, is whether Gabriel can truly change the course of the Browns' offense. Cleveland has been searching for an identity for years. Their defense has carried them through stretches, but offensively, it has been a carousel of quarterbacks, injuries, and half measures. Since 1999, Dillon Gabriel becomes the team's 41st starting quarterback. Think about that for a moment. 41 starters in just over 2 decades. That's not just instability, it's chaos. Fans have endured the likes of Tim Couch, Brandon Weeden, Johnny Manziel, and countless others who came in with hope only to fade into the long list of what could have been. For Gabriel, that history isn't just background noise. It's a constant reminder of what he's stepping into. He doesn't want to be number 41 on a trivia list. He wants to be the one who finally stops the revolving door. Part of what makes Gabriel's rise so compelling is that he has always been described as a competitor. At Oklahoma, he played with poise, toughness, and an ability to handle pressure. He wasn't the flashiest quarterback in college football, but he was steady, confident, and always prepared. Those same traits are exactly what Cleveland is banking on. The Browns don't need Gabriel to be Patrick Mahomes. They don't need him to put up 5 touchdown games or throw for 400 yards every week. What they need is someone who can manage the offense with intelligence while also offering the upside of growth. They need someone who can give them a spark without being reckless. If Gabriel can balance that line, if he can show gradual improvement, then Cleveland may finally have something they can build on. Of course, it's not all about Gabriel. The Browns' offensive line is beaten up, and their run game, which was supposed to be the backbone of their offense, has sputtered without Nick Chubb at full strength. Gabriel will have to rely on quick reads, timing routes, and creativity to keep drives alive. He can't afford to hold the ball for too long against Minnesota's pressure. He'll also need help from his receivers, who have been inconsistent this season. Drops, miscommunications, and a lack of separation have plagued the passing game. And if those issues continue, no quarterback, rookie, or veteran would look good. That's why patience is going to be key, not just for Gabriel, but for Browns fans as well. What makes this story even more intriguing is the larger context of the AFC North. Lamar Jackson's injury with the Ravens has cast a shadow over Baltimore's season, opening up a potential opportunity in the division. Suddenly, what looked like a locked-up race could be more open. If Gabriel can steady the Browns and sneak out a couple of wins in the coming weeks, Cleveland might actually find themselves in position to make noise. It's a tall order, no doubt, but the NFL has always been a league of surprises. Every year, a team or a player comes out of nowhere to shift the landscape, and the Browns are hoping Dillon Gabriel can be that guy. For now, the reality is simple. Gabriel's first start won't tell the whole story. It might. Not even tell half of it. But what it will do is set the tone for how he responds to adversity. If he can show poise, leadership, and flashes of playmaking ability, Cleveland will have reason to believe. If he struggles and shows cracks, it doesn't mean the experiment is over, but it will certainly test the patience of a fan base that has seen this movie far too many times before. The Browns wanted change, and now they've got it. The only question left is whether Dillon Gabriel is the quarterback who finally brings stability to one of the NFL's most unstable positions, or just the next name on the list. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Breaking news is sweeping across the NFL universe, sending shockwaves through stadiums, living rooms, and social media feeds alike. It seems that Odell Beckham Jr., one of the most electrifying wide receivers of his generation, has officially signed with the Cleveland Browns, and the reaction from fans is nothing short of frenzied. The rumor had been circulating for weeks, whispers in the locker rooms, hints dropped by insiders, cryptic tweets from players, and now, the speculation has finally erupted into confirmed reality. It's almost impossible to overstate the magnitude of this move. Beckham Jr., known for his acrobatic catches, jaw-dropping athleticism, and occasional off-field drama, has always been a player who commands attention, and now, he's bringing that attention straight to Cleveland. The Browns, a team with a passionate fan base hungry for marquee talent, have just thrown the NFL world into chaos. From the moment the announcement broke, the Browns' social media accounts have been flooded with thousands of comments, retweets, and likes, fans expressing every emotion imaginable, from sheer ecstasy to disbelief, and even the occasional skeptical grumble questioning team chemistry. But make no mistake, this is the kind of news that can galvanize a franchise, energize a fan base, and alter the trajectory of an entire season. The story leading up to this signing is almost as captivating as the news itself. For weeks, sports media outlets have been abuzz with speculation. Could OBJ be coming back to Ohio? Was he even considering a return to a team that's been trying to establish itself as a contender? Insiders hinted at secret meetings, late-night negotiations, and front office moves that seemed almost too good to be true. Analysts debated endlessly about fit, offensive schemes, and cap space, while fans created elaborate theories on forums and Reddit threads, piecing together small bits of information like detectives on a thrilling case. And now, with the ink on the contract dry, the whispers have become a roar, as if the entire football world has collectively exhaled, acknowledging that a major shift has occurred. Beckham Jr., who has played for multiple teams and has faced his share of highs and lows, seems determined to make a statement with this move. The Browns, a franchise that has long sought a star capable of turning the tide in big moments, may have just found the player to fill that role. The implications of this signing are enormous. Not only does it inject instant star power into the roster, but it also creates ripple effects across the league. Defensive coordinators across the NFL are now scrambling to adjust their game plans, knowing that they have to account for a receiver who can change the outcome of a game with a single catch. Fans in Cleveland are particularly ecstatic, flooding the streets with chants and celebrations reminiscent of championship anticipation. Local sports bars reported record traffic as people gathered to watch the announcement, while merchandise stores experienced a surge in OBJ jerseys flying off the shelves before the ink had even dried. The Browns front office has managed to capture lightning in a bottle, delivering not just a player, but a story, a symbol of ambition, and a promise of high-octane football that could finally put Cleveland back in the national conversation. Rumors are already swirling about how this signing will influence draft strategies, free agency decisions, and team dynamics. Will Beckham Jr. become the focal point of the Browns offense, drawing attention away from other key players? Will his presence elevate the quarterback's performance, or will it create tension within a locker room already navigating the pressures of heightened expectations? These are questions that fans and analysts alike are debating fervently, with each rumor more tantalizing than the last. Social media is awash with speculation, from theories about breakout games to predictions of record-breaking receptions, as everyone tries to anticipate the impact of Beckham Jr.'s arrival. Off the field, the chatter is just as intense. Media outlets are digging into every past interview, every highlight reel, and every anecdote from Beckham Jr.'s career, trying to piece together what this move means for him personally. Sources close to the player hint at a renewed motivation, a hunger to prove doubters wrong, and a desire to leave a lasting legacy in a league that often moves faster than any one person can keep up. The Browns, meanwhile, are positioned to benefit from not only his talent, but his marketability, as sponsors, local businesses, and national advertisers take notice of the excitement surrounding the team. Rumors suggest that the Browns front office was strategic in timing this announcement, capitalizing on a moment when media attention is high and fans are most engaged. The combination of talent, timing, and hype is almost cinematic in nature, and it's easy to imagine the narrative playing out like a major sports movie. Cleveland, long underrepresented in national headlines, finally landing the superstar that could define a new era. Analysts are already speculating about the immediate tactical changes that might come with Beckham Jr.'s integration into the team. Will the offensive coordinator implement new formations to exploit his deep threat capability? Will the playbook expand to include more creative routes that take full advantage of his unmatched agility and ball-tracking skills? Rumors hint at secret practice sessions, private meetings between the quarterback and Beckham Jr., and even experimental drills designed to build chemistry before the season officially kicks off. The excitement isn't limited to Cleveland either. Across the league, commentators are dissecting every angle, imagining how this move will affect playoff scenarios, rivalries, and even Super Bowl projections. The NFL, known for its unpredictability, now has a new wild card, and Odell Beckham Jr. is at the center of it all. Even within the Browns fan community, reactions vary from uncontainable enthusiasm to cautious optimism. Some fans, recalling Beckham Jr.'s previous controversies and injury history, voice concerns about whether he can stay healthy and consistent. Others point out that talent like his can't be ignored, and that sometimes risk is exactly what a franchise needs to break out of mediocrity. This duality of emotion, hope mixed with anxiety, is part of what makes sports fandom so compelling, and in this case, the frenzy has reached a fever pitch. Rumors continue to swirl online about what jersey number he might choose, how ticket sales might spike, and whether this signing signals a broader ambition by the Browns to pursue even more marquee talent in upcoming seasons. The story of Odell Beckham Jr. joining the Browns is far from finished. It is a narrative still being written with each passing day, filled with speculation, excitement, and the kind of chatter that makes fans feel like insiders. Rumors suggest that behind-the-scenes negotiations were intense, that multiple teams vied for Beckham Jr.'s signature, and that Cleveland managed to secure him not just with money, but with a vision, one that promises glory, attention, and the kind of highlight reel football that only players like OBJ can deliver. As the news continues to ripple through the sports world, one thing is clear. The NFL just got a little more unpredictable, the Browns a lot more exciting, and Odell Beckham Jr. has reminded everyone why he is still one of the most captivating figures in professional football. Whether this move will lead to championships, historic plays, or simply unforgettable moments, the frenzy surrounding it is undeniable, and for fans, both in Cleveland and around the league, it is a story worth following every step of the way. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!